Hey, this is Ryan from Soder Survival, and today I'll be doing an unboxing of a langstroth style hive made by Hoover Hives. So this just came in. This is my second Hoover Hive. Got one last year. Unfortunately, was unable to put any bees in it due to the pandemic, but figured this year I'll be able to do an unboxing video of it, and then later on I'll be able to show you what the hive looks like after 1 year, because these hives are not painted. They're actually coated in beeswax, which after doing a lot of poking around and looking at different types of hives, that one kind of stood out to me the most. It's the most natural. Hopefully the bees are really going to like it. So let's get into this. So we get boxes in boxes. This actually does come from, I don't believe it comes from Hoover Hive itself. It comes from a company called Galena Farms in Caledonia, Ohio. And it's obviously a fairly big package, coming in a little hair over 2 foot long, and we're looking at about 13 inches tall with about 22 inches wide. So boxes in boxes. Let's see if we can do this. She's a little heavy. She's got some weight to her. I did not weigh it, but if I were to just absolute guess, she's probably coming in at, I would say, about 45, 50 pounds. All right, so right off the top, we're looking at a excluder, queen excluder, plastic. Instructions. We'll also be doing a video a little bit later of the assembly on it, so look out for that one. So here's what it comes with kit, and then the instructions on the back. Put that somewhere where it doesn't float away, huh? Off the top, and then we have the inserts for the frames. So these look like it's going to be for the supers, and these looks like it's going to be for the deeps. And these are covered in beeswax too, it feels like. They're very sticky. Yeah, and they smell really good too. And then more of the same. Looks like it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Obviously 10 frame is what this one is, not an 8 frame. And then 20. The inserts. Now, since I'm new to beekeeping, I'm going to do one of each. 1 year, or one hive I'm going to have frameless, and the other one I am going to put the frames in, just to kind of see what the difference is. I've read that if you speak with 2 beekeepers, you'll get 4 opinions. So, I guess I'll follow down that trail myself, seeing which one I like most. On top, this is going to be fun to put back in after this video, but we have all the size for the frames for the honey super, because this does come with the 1 super and 2 deeps. Bag of nails, which will come in handy later on. Even though you might not even need these, because I didn't use the whole pack when I put the first beehive together, just because of the dovetail sides that go on, which I'll show you in a bit. That's really cool. All of the frame tops, and they come slotted, so you can put the wax in there. The frame sides, and they all come pre-notched. You don't have to do any woodworking yourself to put this together, other than obviously if you were to put together a puzzle and a little bit of nailing. We have a one-way, which is pretty cool. You can put this over the one of the entrances to the top. Comes with 2 nail holes here. The bees can go out this direction if we can see, but they cannot come back in because of the has 2 prongs that disallow a bee to come back in, but obviously they're spread apart and the bee can exit. Now this is something that I don't believe came in the first one that I put together. I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but I'm going to figure it out, and then I'll probably put a little piece of text or something when I'm done eating insects on what exactly this is, because I don't know. Here is the limiter to the front of the hive. You can put this in the entrance. It can help with when you're starting out, when your hive is low on bees, to prevent looting. So you can allow a restrictor. That way they can defend a much smaller spot. Think Battle of Thermopylae, a much smaller spot in the wintertime. You can have it to where there's, it'll keep a lot of the wind or the draft out, but it still allows for some airflow. Here's your baseboard, and one of the things that drove me to this hive to begin with was just how pretty it was. It's just raw wood that's coated in beeswax. See if you can tell, but it looks like they just straight dumped this or sprayed it and allowed it to dry. I mean, it looks very rough, which I prefer. I don't want it to be super clean and super polished. The woodworking's phenomenal. All of the edges are flush. It's very, very pretty. Very pretty. And I'll show you what this looks like after a year of use. So here's your baseboard. And then the side to the honey super, again, you can see how they put that beeswax on. It's certainly not, they didn't skimp on it. You know, they liberally applied it, which actually it's so much on this one specifically, it might be a little bit difficult to put those dovetails in. I might have to take a little bit of that wax off. But 2 honey super sides with the handles, if I didn't get to show you that. Comes with the handles to pick it up, which is nice. And then the dovetail, which I want to show you. It's not just slotted, it is actually a true dovetail. So when you put those together, they won't just pop right back out. And they're very, at least the first one when I put together, it was very stiff. I didn't feel it was necessary to hammer all those nails in. But with this one, I'm going to complete it 100%, especially since I'll be doing a video on it. More frame sides, and they are shaped. So obviously here's your top and here's the bottom. They're not just straight up and down. More sides. They did a really good job of packing this in there and not wasting any space. But I don't know if that was the doing of Hoover or Galena Farms. I assume Galena Farms. And when I looked up Galena Farms, it stated that they also did Amish made hives. Now I don't know if Galena themselves is an Amish company. Also, for full reveal, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting any kickback. I don't have any affiliate program with Hoover. After just doing a lot of looking into the hives, this is the one that caught my attention, and after looking at the first one, I definitely wanted to buy a second. Here are your frame bottoms, again slotted to allow the inserts to go in. More bottoms, and then the deep sides. So here's your standard super, and then here's your honey super, and then your standard brood box sides or deep sides. Again, it's got the true dovetail, so when everything slots in, the very cool thing is it has the handles on all 4 sides, so it doesn't matter which direction you're going to be picking up your boxes. There's going to be a hive. There's going to be a handle, not a hive. And then to put these bad boys together, here's the front with their branding on it. It's a burn-in, it's an etched logo, which I think is very pretty. Hoover Hive. And it's going to be difficult without a rubber mallet because of how tight it is, but I can at least probably get it started to show you guys. The first one put together, I did need a rubber mallet because these were very, very tight. It was not loose, it was not coming out. So here's what I'm comfortable doing without breaking anything. So as you can see, it slots in together real nice. Let's see if I can push it in a little bit farther. And you can tell that's not going anywhere, especially once you put it together and you nail it in. It's a very, very tight hive. Really good construction. More of the sides for the supers. Branding is on 4 sides, which that burned in natural wood look with the wax sprayed on. It's just beautiful. Here's your top with the entrance for when that's time. Again, everything is super flush, very tight. The plywood center. This is not going to come apart. Not at all. And your top. Now this is going to be a galvanized steel top. What I did with my one for last year, because we did get some heavy winds at one point, put a large concrete block on top of it, the single stack, not with the 2 voids on it, but I put that concrete block on top, and I kind of regret it now. I don't think it would have moved with the wind that we had last year anyway, and I did get some rust that's forming on the top. I'll show you guys in a bit, but that was from me putting that concrete block on top, which dug into the galvanization. And that's the whole thing. So that was the unboxing. I'll go ahead and I'll show you what it looks like after a year of sitting there, how the coating, that beeswax coating, holds up. Unfortunately, I'm not able to tell you guys right now how the bees work in it because we'll be getting bees this week. So look forward to a future video of that. All right, so let's get some measurements on the sides of the hives here. So here is going to be your side for the brood box, which is coming in right around 9 5/8 tall, and about 20 right on the money, 20 inches long. So your top, here's your inner cover. Your inner cover comes in at 20 by, looks like 16 3/8. Top cover is going to be 22 by 18 1/8, it looks like. Just in case space matters to you guys and you want to know exactly how long everything was. Your foundations are they're about 5 5/8 tall, and obviously they're going to be less than 20, so 16 3/4 long for your honey supers. And your brood foundations are 8 1/4 by, going to be the same, 16 3/4. Yep. And last, your baseboard. Baseboard's going to come out 16 1/4 by 22 long. And I can measure the how tall it is with 2 brood boxes and 1 honey super. I'm going to go over and take a look at my other one. So here's the hive that I put together last year. It's just been sitting on this gravel area that I had made up. When I spoke about the rusting that happened due to the brick that I put on top of it, that's what I was speaking about. So I wouldn't suggest putting a weight on top, or if you do, or if you have to, think about putting a piece of fabric on top. But you can tell it's definitely weathered some. The vibrance and the sheen has reduced, but from the inside is still looks brand new almost. Still very, very vibrant, and the wax you can feel is still on the inside. The outside, there's been a little bit of sun damage, you can tell, but nothing that I don't think paint would have solved, and I prefer the look of this regardless. So there's our top. This was the brick that I'd used, or the cement block that I'd used before. Learn from my mistakes. Here's your top. Very good condition after a year. And here's what a completed frame looks like. So there are little places where you can put in nails. You can use wood glue if you'd like. I believe the friction would be enough on these. But there's what a honey frame looks like. So there is a little bit of room to work there. The excluder, which I'll use when it's time. I just have it there now for safekeeping. Here is brood with the foundation in there. Something I'm going to play around with is keeping the brood frames with the foundation. From what I've read, it will allow the bees to get started a little bit quicker, give them a jump start. I'm never going to be taking any honey or anything from these frames anyway, so it's not like this is going to impede any of the harvesting efforts like on the honey super. The honey supers I'm probably going to leave foundationless. On this one, the other hive, I'm going to leave everything foundationless just to kind of test it out and see how that works. I'll know how they work with foundation through the brood frames on this hive, but as far as harvesting goes, foundationless I think is going to be a whole lot easier to extract the comb and the honey from. But we'll find out, and when that time comes around, I'll let you know what I find out. So like I say, you can definitely tell there's been some weathering. The vibrance isn't there anymore, but it does have that aged, weathered appearance, which is beautiful. Second, same as the first. Here's that limiter I was explaining before. It goes right at the beginning of the hive, and then you can change it based upon what you want to happen. So one cool thing to think about on the limiter is, especially in the winter, from what I've read, if bees die off and they clutter the floor, you don't want the limiter like that, because if there is bee debris that's on the ground, it's going to be clogging up that entrance. So instead, you want it upside down so the bees can always have a route out, and if there's any bee debris, it's not going to be clogging your entrance or exit. That's how I have mine set up, just on 2 blocks for right now. With the second hive, what I'm going to do is grab 2 more of these blocks from the hardware store with 2 beams, and then I'll set the hives on those beams. But here is what the hive looks like after 1 year. this is Ryan with Soda Survival, and today I'll be doing an unboxing of a langstroth style beehive made by Hoover Hives. Hoover Hives.